make the haul. So, thank you, animal activist. I appreciate you having the horse's best interest at heart. Don't know if this has been asked, but I know, and when she give new ideas for Mark, have you come up with? Yeah, I mean, we're kind of making the individual posters that people can share for the horses, like the little meme things, and it's just evolving. Like, if you have any marketing ideas, please feel free. I know that I would love for people to share them on Craigslist. We've redirected the traffic on the pages a little bit, and that's been really interesting to see, like, a flood of new people call in the last week that are like, I've never seen this before, and I'm like, where have you been? But we redirected the traffic, and it literally opened our market up to a whole bunch of new people that had never even heard of kill pin horses before. It just blew my mind that people are new to this. How do you handle the severe starved horses that get dumped on you? Do most of them recover? Okay, so the horses that get dumped on us and the horses that basically are like a body score of 3 or below, the way that they come in and for the first 2 weeks, they're just on free choice hay and water. Within that 2 weeks, I would say 1 out of 10 die. And it's not our fault. Like, they can post videos and photos and say what a horrible monster we are, but they came there in that condition, and there's nothing we can do but put them to sleep. So, it's awful, and I hate it, and they're like that when they show up. But I would say 9 out of 10, you see them as loose lot horses 30 days later, and they are gaining weight, and they are on the upswing, and their personalities are coming back, and they're getting that shine in their eyes, and they're ready to go into a family and to, add love. And yeah, I'd say 9 out of 10 make it and do okay. So the odds are really, really in their favor. Horses want to survive, and horses are a very hardy, resilient kind of animal. And we have seen some horses come in. I mean, look at Frank. I know y'all have seen the pictures of Frank. Frank was a down horse. He could barely get up, and he had laid in a stall in a barn, hid away somewhere, to the point that he had laid in his own pee, and the ammonia and feces had like eaten the hair off of his legs. It was awful. And Frank got down on the trailer on the way to the lot, and we had to get a sling and get him up. And well, if you saw Frank now, you'd know he's as broad as a barn, literally. How do you determine which horses you put on the website? And also, why are some horses not advertised but need saving? Okay, Double S was really just for riding horses. It was for horses that I knew that if somebody bought it, I was not going to get anybody hurt. I never want anybody to call me and say, 30 days later, this sucker got fed up and he bucked me off. I dread ever having that conversation, and I haven't had it yet, so. But Double S was really made for riding horses. Fat, safe, sound, sane, 5-star program horses. And as we moved down here and more horses became available, we kind of compromised some of that to now you'll see me advertise a greener broke horse or a young prospect with papers that might not be broke, or things like that. I stick to horses that are really safe and really sound, that somebody's not going to have a gut-wrenching experience with. Now, the loose lot horses, please be advised, those horses I know a lot less about, and those horses need a lot more work. And so those are the horses that are not dangerous, but they just need more attention, just a lot more TLC, and they're probably going to cost you more money to get them to the point where the Double S horses already are. Those horses are cheaper, and you find some really amazing horses in the loose lot too, like some amazing ones. Best product for injuries. Okay, I use PF Wonder Salve. I think it is the greatest product on the market, bar none. Absolutely the very best thing on the market for wounds. It puts Underwoods to shame. I loved Underwoods. I was a firm believer of Underwoods and Vetericyn. I still use Vetericyn a lot for stuff that's like superficial. I love Vetericyn for any kind of eye injury at all whatsoever. Vetericyn is amazing. But PF Wonder Salve, they have a Facebook page. Just look it up. It comes in a thing. You paint it on, and I mean, it can do anything one Underwoods can do, and it can do it 10 times better. Can I ask a question? Sure. Okay, so best product for puncture wound. Yeah, it's by far the best product for rain rot, summer itch, and scratch. Okay, so when I get a horse with a rain rot, I scrub it with iodine shampoo and like get all the scabby part out of it. And with the iodine shampoo, like I said, I just scrub it with iodine shampoo. Once it's dry, I cake coconut. Like you can buy like the coconut oil, I think, but if it's not like burning up outside, it's kind of more of a paste. When it's cold, it kind of thickens up, and I just like cover it really heavy in that coconut, and I do that every day. Okay, random question just sent to me through text message. Jacob, are you bothering me? Say you promise.
I promise.
Okay. Is the price based on kill price or also their ability? Okay, well, I kind of answered that earlier a little bit. The price is based on what I owe the lot at the end of the week for all of the horses, plus what I owe Facebook and the employees. I do not mark the horses up even $1 for myself personally. They are priced at what the lot has, like whatever the lot tells me, okay, Tara, you have these 25 horses. This is what you owe us at the end of the week. And then I take that and I divide it by the horses, and then I add my overhead in, and that's how I base the price. So let's say that the average is normally around $900. So any horse below 900 is below, and then I have to price some for 12 and 1500 to cover the overhead on the rest of them. Anytime I price a horse for, like I have a mare on there for 2500, I'm going to, Jacob, are you bothering me?
No.
Say you swear.
I swear.
Let me just show you the question that I was just asked. So it doesn't really have, and yes, it has a little bit to do with their ability, because like a skinny riding horse, I might price higher than a big fat green horse. Where obviously the big fat green horse would bring more to slaughter. I can get more for the riding horse, so I'm going to price him a little higher so that I can cheapen up the green horse so that he still finds a home. It's all about check and balance. It was a very creative thing that I did to try to make sure all of the horses could find a home, and I understand it makes some of the horses overpriced, but they're not overpriced for what they really are. Can I ask a question for your video? Yes. How is it that your man is the greatest? Is this really not you?
No, it's not me.
I thought maybe you were like one of those joke apps. No. How is it that my man is the greatest? Okay, well, how are you the greatest? Jacob is hilarious. Like, I don't know that very many of you probably know him personally. I do, and he's all right, really. I mean, he's really all right. He takes care of me far past his responsibility. I have a fuse about this long, and when I get mad, he is often my voice of reason, because I go from like, da, 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 let's go catch butterflies and rainbows to, like, that fast. And Jacob is, thank God, my voice of reason. I am irrational at best when I'm mad, so just keep that in mind. Generally pretty easy to deal with. I think the one thing that Double S has taught me is so many lessons on how to handle business. So a couple of things that people kind of asked about in private message that I want to address, because I want to give you my take on this. One is the picture floating around of a horse down on the trailer. Yes, that was our trailer. Yes, that was our horse, and I'm disappointed in the whole situation. One, I'm not really disappointed in our driver, because I kind of gather from what I was told that he slammed on his brakes at a stoplight, and the horses in the trailer, one of them just slipped. I guess, you know, you have those horses, and when he slammed on the brakes, the horse fell. Now, kind of what bothers me is when they alerted him that the horse was down, and he said, okay, do we know anywhere that I can go to get them up? And they said, let me make a phone call, which was the right thing to do. I'm very proud that those people found somewhere for him to unload. I think Jacob will agree with me. That's all you can do. I mean, this is an unfortunate situation. It doesn't happen very often, but when it does happen, the right thing to do is to find somewhere to unload them. What I am disappointed about, though, is once they got there, nobody would lift a finger to help the horse. Like, they were so busy taking photos and like posting it on Facebook and being ugly that nobody called us. Like, if somebody would have picked up the phone and called Jacob or myself and said, we have your driver and he has a horse down, we're going to take him somewhere and help him get the horse up, our main concern would have been the horse. Jacob and I would have said, is the horse okay? Is the horse cut up? Does the horse need a vet? Where this happened is on a route that they take all the time. If the person that owned the stable would have let us board the horse there, we could have boarded that horse there and left it overnight or for a day or two to kind of let it, if something would have, been available. I was just really disappointed that nobody ever contacted us. When our driver got home, he said, I had a horse down, and we said, is he okay? He said, yeah, he's still up. He rode all the way from Tennessee to Louisiana the rest of the ride and never got back down. The horse actually, I know exactly which horse it is, and I know who owns it, and the person that has it loves it. So the horse was fine. Annette Diaz will tell you that horse is absolutely the greatest horse in the entire world, and if you look in the photo, that's the horse down on the trailer. And she posted photos of him, and she thinks he's great, and he wasn't hurt. But in my opinion, the way that should have been handled was whoever was taking those photos and was so quick to judge and to post it all over Facebook, they probably should have contacted me, or so that I could have contacted Jacob, and we would have been able to make a lot better decision on what to do, other than our truck showed up, we knew that we had a horse down, the horse is fine now. But our truck drivers, they hauled cattle, so they're not really horsemen, and they show up to a sale barn and there are horses standing there to be loaded. They load them on the trailer and they come home with them. Now, if a horse gets down, they're going to stop and try to get them up. But for people to stand around and take photos and like laugh and then post it all over Facebook, I don't know how that helped the horses. I don't know how it helped the driver help the horses. I mean, obviously we were not there. We couldn't help the situation. It's something that happened. I just don't like the way it was handled on other people's parts. I would have probably respected the people that took the photos a lot more if they would have picked up the phone and called and said, look, your truck driver had a horse down. We got him stopped. We're finding him somewhere to unload the horses. And I would have said, thank you, thank you, thank you. Please let me know when the horses get there that everything's okay. But that's not what happened. What do you think, Jacob? I mean, no comment?
I did enough talking today.
You did enough talking today?
Yeah.
I mean, I think I can speak for Jacob and myself when I say I was just really disappointed. I mean, we never want for that to happen. I mean, we put money into that horse. We bought him. We paid for him. We don't want them to get down. We don't want them to get hurt. That is the last thing that anybody wants for those horses, especially when they get to me, I'm going to try to find them a home. I mean, it doesn't do me any good. I can't home them if they're hurt and crippled. I want them to get home in one piece so that I can take all of the ones that are not crazy and not going to hurt anybody and find them amazing homes. So it's really disappointing for people to attack us instead of help us. I mean, the horses need all of us to help each other. The other thing that somebody posted, a private message, was about the mare down that people videoed. I was gone on vacation in New Mexico, and this is what I tell people who want to bash us. First of all, I wasn't home, and so if those people that showed up and snuck onto the property take that video, I wish that they would have just called and given me the opportunity to tell them, hey, the mare was at the sale Monday night. And this is another reason that the timeline didn't really make sense. Jacob and I were 900 miles away. We really didn't even know anything about it until once again that it showed up online, and then we're like, whoa, what the heck's going on? So basically the mare sold, or was at the sale and sold Monday night, but she didn't bring a bid. And so we had 2 loads of horses. So basically I think Monday night maybe they picked some up and took them home and then went back Tuesday. to get another load of horses, and she was still there, and the sale barn was like, hey, do you want to pay for the Coggins on that mare and you can have her? And the trailer wasn't full, so our hauler just threw her on the trailer. Well, when she got to the pen, she was like a body score of 1.5. Like, that's a coin toss right there. That was on Tuesday. And by Wednesday morning, she was kind of colicky and really dehydrated, and the vet came out and stated her, and he gave her fluids, and he said, like, she seems like she's doing better. I think she might be okay. Well, come to find out, I mean, she had a lot more going on internally than what met the eye on the outside, and the mare didn't make it, and she had to be put down, and at that point, people were like going nuts. So we even had a necropsy done, which we normally wouldn't have done. I mean, she had a body score of 1.5. She was at our place for less than 48 hours. That right there tells you the entire story. But upon investigation, what we found was a lot of internal issues that probably had led to the weight loss. The mare had a couple of owners, like maybe 4 or 5 owners in like a 4-month period. And I think none of them could put weight on her, and they just kept trying. So basically, long story short on that deal, she wasn't savable, and there wasn't a whole lot we could do. And the biggest issue was in the video, she was sedated, but after all of that wore off, and she still, didn't really seem to be right. When they fed her, she kind of choked, and she ended up having COPD really bad, and just a lot of issues that the necropsy surfaced that were probably the underlying issues for the weight loss. She was completely full of worms, 5-gallon buckets worth of worms, just disgusting. So any other questions that you guys have, I will be more than happy to answer. I'm pretty open about everything. I don't know, I'm just kind of shocked sometimes that people like to be drama, and I'm a little tired of it. And what I want from Double S is a couple of things. I want for all of you to help me home the horses, and I want for all of you to want the horses to find homes. If you don't like Jacob, or you don't like the kill pin, or you don't like me, that's fine. I mean, we can agree to disagree. I'm not going to argue with you, but don't take it out on the horses because you have a personal vendetta with us. That to me just seems slightly irrational. And I would really like for everybody to get along. Double S Closed Group was invented as a support system for all of the people who buy horses, and for us to kind of give each other ideas, for the horses that need deposits, so that those of us who do want to put a little money, when Tracy starts taking deposits, there have been more. Jacob and I cover all of the PayPal fees on the deposits for the horses that are at the last minute out of our personal money. And not only that, I've even pitched in a couple of times and helped pay deposits towards horses so that the lot is paid, because we don't rob one business to pay another. Like, I'm not going to make the lot not get their money because I want to home the horses. That's a business. They get paid. These are the rules. Even I abide by them. With that said, I don't think I want to tell anybody how many horses I actually have, and mules and donkeys. Jacob, how many horses, mules, and donkeys do you think I have? I have about double what he thinks. So it is what it is, and I hope that this answers a lot of questions. And if you have any more questions, feel free to message me, and we'll try to do one of these videos a month. I'll talk to you guys later.